Hello, and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the weekly strategically minded stream hosted by Logic Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against those goals are not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra Games on Twitch or Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me personally at Logic Dolphin on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, or pretty much any avenue. Sentinels of the Multiverse, Sentinels of Earth Prime, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, One Deck Galaxy, Aeon's End, and Spirit Island are all available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices, and One Deck Dungeon is also available on Switch. You can find more information on those games at handelabra.com. But now it is Dolphin's Dive at Tuesday at 3 p.m. I don't think there's any other stream that's scheduled for this time. Actually, John is still in the process of moving and might be streaming later this week. And today works better for me than Wednesday, so I thought I would just stream today. So I'm taking the Handelabra dive. Handelabra live. That word. That stream slot. So we'll just play Spirit Island. And yeah, I don't really have anything on the agenda. Let's just do two spirits, complexity, adversary. We're getting Brandenburg, Prussia. We have Vengeance as a Burning Plague. We have Keeper of the Forbidden Wilds. And yeah. Should we try to do second wave stuff? It's been a while since I've done second wave stuff. Try to stick with an adversary and see how high we can level it up before we lose. You know, Brandenburg, Prussia. Sure. Let's start with a 0 and work our way up and see how far we get before we lose or get tired or something. I don't know. Brandenburg, Prussia is one of the easiest adversaries to actually play physically, as pretty much all of its rules are setup related. The stage 2 escalation is land rush. On each board with buildings, add a town to a land without towns. That's really the only non-setup thing there is here. We're not leveled up just yet, but all of these have to deal with setup or the invader deck, and also fear card distribution as well. Vengeance is a Burning Plague. I haven't played him in a while. He starts with one of the presents already destroyed. Put 2 on your starting board, 1 in a land with blight, 1 in a wetland without Dahan. And special rules: the terror of a slowly unfolding plague. When disease would prevent a build on a board with your presence, you may let the build happen, removing disease. I think I always call this plague for some reason. If you do, 1 fear. Lingering pestilence. When your presence is destroyed by anything except a spirit action, add a disease where each destroyed presence was. And vengeance for the land's corruption. Your actions treat blight on the island as also being badlands. And that's probably the only time I'll say badlands. Yeah, so blight is badlands. There we go. Disease might not prevent builds, but if we let them build, it's a fear. And destroyed presence from non-spirit actions leaves the disease. Let's see. Epidemics run rampant, fast, range 1, targeting land with disease. This powers damage done separately to both invaders and Dahan. At 1 fire, 3 animal, 1 damage per disease. At 2 fire, 1 water, 4 animal, plus 1 damage per disease. At 3 fire, 3 water, 5 animal, plus 1 damage per disease. 1 fear per disease, max 5, remove 1 disease. So kind of nice to let disease build up for the damage on this power. We also have Savage Revenge. Slow power, range 0, targeting buildings. 3 air, this power is plus 1 range. 3 fire, 1 animal, 1 damage. 4 fire, 2 animal, plus 2 damage. 5 fire, 2 air, 2 animal, plus 3 damage. So consistent damage. Well, consistent in the sense of elements, but not needing disease tokens and all that. But range 0, unless you have enough air to make it plus 1 range. Let's see. Fetid breath I can't read this. Fetid breath spreads infection. Slow, range 1 invaders. 1 fear, add a disease. Fiery Vengeance. Cost to use. Target spirit removes 1 of the destroyed presence from the game. 1 fear and 1 damage in 1 of target spirit's lands. This is your power, so blight counts as bad lands even if the target is another spirit. Plague Bearers. 1 fear if invaders are present. For each disease, push 2 explorers, towns to Hun. 1 fear, One disease might move with each pushed piece. And then strike low with sudden fevers. One fear, invaders skip ravage actions. In these last two powers, only target lands with disease. And Fiery Vengeance permanently removes a destroyed presence from the game, which is probably why we start with a destroyed presence, so that we can be the target of Fiery Vengeance. And then the growth options: reclaim all, gain a power card, gain an energy, or add a presence to a land with town, city, blight at range 2 twice. Gain a power card, add a presence or a disease at range 1, gain 1 energy. This adds a disease, which is interesting as a growth option. Hello, Lefty Link. How are you doing? You say all right, Lefty Link. And then, of course, we have Keeper. Starts with the presence in the wilds. Dahan events. Never move Dahan to your sacred sites, which is a very rare rule, but anytime you create a sacred site, push all Dahan from that land, and all of your actions tend to kill Dahan. Is pretty much all you need to know, I guess. But we're only starting with random pressure 0 until we move on to the next wave. So the escalation on each board with buildings, add a town to a land without towns. That's all we need to worry about. And we're playing on the... That was the excited sort of all right. Like, oh, you're all right, let's do it. Yeah, because that's what's left when there's no more right. Let's change... Whoops. Let's change the playmat. Fiery volcano stuff, I guess. And then let's start with the default coloring scheme here. Let's just switch it up. The explored jungles. Which used up a wilds, did it? I think. Yeah, because this land had a wilds here. But now it does not. And this land has the disease, but we could let that disease not work for a fear. Because fear. Blight is Badlands. Your actions treat Blight as being Badlands, but none of those lands have any invaders in them, so we can't really utilize that just yet. Alright, so what shall we do? Double presence for 2 plays, 2 energy? Maybe? I don't know. 1 fear and 1 damage. Target spirit removes 1 of the destroyed presence from the game. We don't actually have a means of destroying our presence ourselves. But since we have 2 incentives for destroyed presence, Lingering Pestilence, which puts disease in place of the presence, and Fiery Vengeance, which is the cost to use this effect, we might want to actually put our presence in Ravaging Lands. So we get a disease and we get things. And if we do that, and we put it in a land where, say, the city is, or the disease currently is, and it turns into a disease, there will be 2 diseases there, so Epidemics Run Rampant will do 2 damage at base level. We could also put down Fetid Breath Spreads Infection to add another disease. It's a very expensive power, though, and I would be forced to use Fiery Vengeance. Which would be nice if I could use it to kill an explorer somewhere, I guess, but... not too many explorers I can kill, especially if I'm using the middle growth option, which can only add a presence to a town, a city, or a blight. And the explorers have neither of those with them. Let's take a look at this power card on Keeper, because I almost always do these 2 growth options to start. There's no plants on any of these. But invaders do not heal damage at end of turn. I will not have the energy to get the second fire, because that costs 3 energy. It's a really expensive innate power, isn't it? Other thing we would like is sun, I guess, to be able to push explorers. Plant is kind of... You want one plant to start with, and then extras are more meaningful, I guess, but... Promises of protection to gather Dahan. I mean, I don't know what we would want to gather Dahan for, but... There is a Ravage that's going to happen at E7 next turn, and they're building a city there, so it'd be nice to, you know, somehow deal with that. Not really much that I can do, though. I mean, I can do Towering Wrath. I mean, I'm gonna put this energy down, I think. Or the third growth option gives me an energy anyway. Which will give me the 3 energy for Towering Wrath, but it's just gonna be 2 damage. If I somehow could do this second innate, maybe it's a little more meaningful, but it's not going to kill both the town and the city that's in there. So I guess I'm also going to have a destroyed presence, which is good for Plague. What was his name again? Vengeance. Vengeance is a burning plague. I suppose Promises of Protection could let the Dahan and E3 kill the Explorer and the town without both dying. I will take that card. And then this presence is a very limited presence because it has to go in a land with wilds or my presence, which this is the only option. So I'm making a Sacred Site. We don't need to do Promises this turn. So let's just go up the energy track and get a sun for fun. And then either Boon of Growing Power or regrow, probably just Boon of Growing Power. King Banhammer, Keeper's usual very slow start. Yes. Not very exciting, but Spirit Island is a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, so now back to Vengeance, and we could do the third growth option to put a presence in F5 to kill that Explorer. I mean, we don't have to do the middle growth option just yet. They're ravaging next turn. So if I want that destroyed presence, I could also just let them not ravage. I feel like there's not really much reason to do that. But I could do Fiery Vengeance in F5, which seems a bit expensive, but it does stop a build. Stopping a build is generally better than not stopping a build. In fairness, he becomes a horrible doom among everything remotely near his board, so hey. Yes. Eventually, he starts saying, "Get off my swamp!" Yeah, let's do third growth option. Look at a power. And the elements we care most for, fire on the right, animal, and fire on the left. There is no fire. There is some animal. Gather up to 1 blight. Wow, now. My blight is also Badlands. But the only thing this really gives me is animal. I can get air if I take Bat Scout for raids by darkness. But I don't really need that much air. Really, I'm just sad I didn't get any fire here. I will click the card that says Isolate because I like isolate. I will put my presence in F5. 2 card plays. See, I don't really want to put the Blight in F2 though, even though it would be a Badlands down the road. Is there a land I would want to isolate? If I isolate F8, then they can't explore F6, and that's pretty much it. Isolating F2 won't stop any of the internal things, so it doesn't seem super great. Because this land's going to build, and we're going to let it ravage with the Dahan being protected. So they're going to have visibility to F4 and F7 no matter what. For each disease, push 2 pieces, and you may move a disease. Alright, let's do 2 plays then. So we'll go here. We will generate our fear. We will push pieces around, and we have no innates. But fiery vengeance! And there goes my single destroyed presence. I will allow the build. And explore the wetlands. Okay. So we can at least move pieces out of here. I don't know where we really care for it to go. Maybe in, as scary as it is to say, I want it in the blighted land, but it's because that's where I'm at. And if I move the disease, I can target it with these things. We could just skip the disease. I mean, it's not really doing anything. We want the blight anyway. Are we gonna have epidemics next turn is a question, and I feel like if I play my hand, I could, but that's not happening. I guess if I get up to the animal on the presence track, I do have 1 damage per disease. And I can hit it if I play these 2 cards, but then I don't have the energy to play those 2 cards anyway, so I will leave the disease there. Also, we have this. Maybe I should not do Plague Bearers yet. If you target the spirit, they gain energy. Oh, they have energy. There you go. Found the energy. Do we have fire and animal here? We do. We have Inflame. Inflame is pretty good on the spirit that cares about animal and has an innate animal. We could also put Drought because it adds Blight. Blight is great. Blight is my friend. I'll take Inflame. Alright, so that does change the calculus a bit, as I can afford to play these 2 cards. But we could also just play Inflame instead of Strike Low. Which... I mean... unlock this. 1 damage per disease. So I think I can kill the city, although strifing the city is kind of useless when I can kill the city, I guess. But if it's blighted after the ravage, and there's 2 disease tokens on there, that's 3 damage, so that would kill the city. But I guess I could strife the city and kill the town and explorer instead. Or I could kill the city and strife the town instead, which is 1 more fear. In this case, Plague Bearers wants to keep pieces in there. Unfortunately, it says for each disease, push 2, not push up to 2. I find that exceptionally rude. I can target this, though. And that allows me to push the disease. I don't know where I would want it pushed to. Might just leave it there. Oh, but it moves with each push T, so I can't actually move it if there's nothing in there. Yeah, let's leave the pieces in F2. Spreading Wilds. We can vacate this land. Join Keeper, why not? Alright, first turn down. Let's gain the energy and then do the double presence thing. So I'm going to be losing a presence in E7 unless something extravagant happens. So I think I'm going to put a triple stack there, so that I still have that sacred site after the Ravage. Let's gain a minor because energy. Hazards spread. That doesn't give sun. The only sun card is called Isolation, which isn't really good elements. This gives fire and plant, which is good for the left track. And it adds more tokens. I like tokens. Okay. Oh, also we're going to be adding a disease with my destroyed presence in F2. And I also need to keep a sacred site. Oh, also this power is fast, so I couldn't even kill the city in the... I can't kill the city in the fast phase. That's dumb. Actually, I can't kill anything with this power because I'm dumb. Okay, well... Anyway, presence to a land without blight. Unfortunately, can't add it to E4. E3's ravaging, it will just get destroyed. Because we are going to be using promises of protection there. So choosing disease costs 1 energy, but we can copy Badlands, Beasts, Strife, Wilds. Well, there is no Badlands, and there's no Strife. We can copy Beasts. We have nothing that cares about Beasts. We can copy Wilds, which could allow us to do like Sacrosanct Wilderness in a land, but only this land. Which seems foolish. It does kill something, though, which is better than nothing. But maybe I grow into F3. Try to do something there. Am I playing these cards, though? Probably just playing those cards. We could do Towering Wrath to kill the town that's in E4. Since we're keeping a sacred site there. And then we don't care about that Ravage. To summarize, this is gonna put a blight down, but everything will be dead. That's a blight. That's a blight. And we're okay with those. That's a build. That's a build. That's a build. So if I don't play Hazard Spread, but I play Towering Wrath, I will not have the energy to do double growth next turn. But I can kill the town that's in E4, which stops one of the issues. Could also probably just utilize Epidemics, or not Epidemics, sorry. I keep thinking I can do Epidemics in the slow phase, but I can't. Savage Revenge is not going to go off this turn, right? We can get a fire. We can do 3 fire and 1 animal. I guess if I'm in E4, that blight counts as a Badlands, and so it kills the town that's in there. But I'd have to play these 2 cards. Skip a Ravage action. I guess that's okay since we don't actually have a solution for F2 after all. And then Inflame, which we need. Do we need? I don't think we need for E4 at that point, but... we could. Needs the fire, so... And we can grow into E4, since it does have a blade. So yeah, let's just do that, I guess. We want a sacred site. And we'll need to be in the land. So I need to be in E4. Sacred site doesn't have to be in E4, though. And since I don't have any sacred site on the board right now, I guess it's going to have to go, like, here, so that I have, like, visibility of my lands a little more. So skip the Ravage actions in F2. Kill the town that's in E4. That will solve that land. Skip the Ravage action there, so that stops that blight that we probably don't really want to stop anyway, but whatever. We can move blight around. So skip Ravage actions. Promise protection. And let's get the singleton so it's protected by the event. Promising farmland. Farmland. Promising farmland. I'm going to just call every word that ends in land as land. When exploring, once per board, place a town instead of an explorer. Beasts provoked. On each board, add a beast to a land without blight that has town. Canny defense. During Ravage in every land, defend 1 per Dahan in the land. Well... Alright, cool. This land's not blighting either. We're replacing towns with explorer. Beast to a land without blight that has town. Okay. This is not Russia, so I can safely put it in ravaging lands. Just realized I still have Towering Wrath, even though I have an alternate solution to E4. I guess I can kill a town in there. Placing a town with the first explorer. That town should go in F4, so actually we can just do Savage Revenge there instead. Okay. Because I could do Towering Wrath here. Oh, I can't even do it there. Okay. Do it there. Kill this town. Now they're not even building there. That's still a build. That's a disease build. And my presence is on this board, so we can actually let that build happen. Spreading wilds. We can just prevent this build, I guess. Go in the land of disease. It's fine. Put more disease there? I can't. Strife and disease there to power up that effect eventually. Or strife this guy so that... Or, well, both those lands... I guess that one's fine. This land has a Dahan. Oh, I didn't actually unlock the do both because I didn't take the animal. That's fine. We'll strife the town. And then we don't care about that ravage either. Sweet. So I can't do double growth on Keeper this turn. Let's gain a power. 2 energy or 2 of a single element is always a tempting one. Let's think. I probably want to get animal now. That will give me epidemics. And we can gather the blight into F2 and then kill the city with epidemics. So that's nice. Anything we can do for mountain builds? Anything? I can't even put my presence in F6 if I do the middle growth option. Am I gonna have this? No, I have no fire. I mean, this is Keeper. Yeah, it's not me. I think I'm looking at the wrong spirit, but I guess actually no, because I was thinking about this because of Gift of Nature's Connection. If I take 2 fire, then we do have Savage Revenge. But that's not really that much damage unless some other effect happens. Otherwise... of the Unknown, do we have range? We do not have... Oh, we do have range, because I'm here. So we could Lure of the Unknown the Explorer out of F6. Free power. Gives a plant. Can't complain. Okay. So wilds or my presence. I'm probably just gonna... I feel like I don't need 5 energy this turn. So Lure, Sacrosanct, we actually unlock Punish, which we can do in E7, no problem. We still have Spreading Wilds with plus range this turn. Lure of the Unknown to get the guy out of F6. Sacrosanct Wilderness because I can. I don't know. I want the sun is really why I played that, I guess. So Vengeance can get to 3 plays, but only has 2 cards if he does that. You could preemptively get 3 plays, and then on the reclaim turn, play 3 cards. Not sure how vital that is. This is Ravaging, but that would be okay as is a Destroyed Presence and a Blight. This is fine. This is fine. And then these are the builds, and we're preventing... Actually, it's just the one build, and we're preventing F6. Stage 2 coming up, which means that they'll start adding towns to lands without towns. Not really that bad of an escalation. We could put the Blight into F7, isolating F7, and when they Ravage, they add a Blight, but it doesn't cascade, which means that land has 2 Blights, which means it's super badlanded. Could also gain a power card this turn and gain a power card next turn and just play 2 cards both turns. Do I want the animal? The animal does unlock this. It'd be nice to have that animal one way or another. Let's do Middle Growth so that I have more tokens on the board. Put something in there. Something in there. Okay. But now let's put the Blight here. And then we can kill the city. No, I can't because I am dumb. I'm not putting a disease down with that. I think I was thinking about this power, but that's slow. It's weird how I keep forgetting about how slow powers work. Alright, Lure here. Yes. Range 1 land without Blight. Add a Wilds. So I can't add it to E7, for instance. Stay out of the inner land. How about that? Explore actions add plus Explorer to lands without buildings. The Frontier calls. Layer and Untamed lands. On each board, add beasts to a land without buildings or blight. Seek out new grounds. On each board, gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land without Dahan setup symbols. Okay. 4 options, 5 options. No, 4 options here. Let's put beasts on the coast. And then we have 5 options here. Let's put it on the coast. And then gather into a land without Dahan setup symbols. So this is a ravage that's gonna kill something. If we put 2 Dahan there, though, 1 will survive and will kill the town. By the way, this is an example of an event card. So we cannot put Dahan into E7 by the special rule. Dahan events never move Dahan to your sacred site, but powers can do so. So E7 is not going to be an option here, even if there was not Dahan here originally. Just so we're aware, before someone says there's a bug, because there should be 4 lands on each board. Don't think I want to sacrifice Dahan just yet. And this power does damage separately to both invaders and Dahan. So I kind of don't want it to be an F2. So just go where the town is, I guess. I can apparently click this lamp. I'm sure that's just gonna fizzle, isn't it? Yeah, it just fizzled. Okay. So you can actually click that land, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that's technically correct, but it is an illustration of why that event fizzled. We can move the Dahan into E4 for them to die by Dahan. Gather them into E2 if we have a plan for that land. We don't really have a plan for that land other than Vengeance is there. I don't think we really have a plan for that land. Let's just kill the Explorer. Death by Dahan. Each player moves an Explorer town from the land where it is the only invader. Isolation. Get rid of the inner town. This guy's dead already. And so the only other option is F5. Hey, look, my disease. I'll allow it. Exploring mountains with escalation. So they're going to ravage mountains and then build mountains. So I don't want to add this to mountains. You can go into that land. That's fine. Land with beasts. Maybe it dies to the beasts. Wild's used up. And they could not explore F6 because I got rid of the town that was there, or rather pushed the town. Alright, so there's 2 explorers in F4. I only have 2 plants, so I can't get rid of both of them. And punish those who trespass. I think the only reasonable spot for that, I could kill this explorer and the Dahan, but that seems foolish. Let's just kill the town here. And I guess we could spread wilds in F3. Just to push an explorer, I guess. Alright, infected breath spreads infection. I don't know if fetid is how you say that word, but I'm gonna say it like that. A fear and add a disease. It'd be a tall order to be able to do epidemics in E2 next turn to great effect, but we do have hazard spread, which can add more diseases there. Let's just spam disease. It's almost like I want to scream disease into the wind. Alright, this is a reclaim. And I don't have a million energy. I'm gonna click miner. There's no fire here. Epidemics could help with E2 if we could maybe get extra things, but I don't think we have enough for that. We have defend 3 with Carapace land, though. Maybe that's enough defend. No, there's 2 towns and 2 explorers there, plus the city. We could move a blight in there. There's no nearby blight. Never mind. We can skip ravage actions, and then we don't care about that land. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Anyway, you're clicking this option, and you have +4 energy. We could play your hand and then have you reclaim next turn. Let's do that, because you get a lot of energy on a reclaim turn anyway. Let's take a major. I tend to not take too many majors, and I kind of want to change that a little bit. Because I tend to opt for card plays a lot, but Keeper is definitely one that could go major route very easily. So why don't I do major route very easily? If I'm doing this, though, I also have a plus energy here, so I have 6 energy with this turn, so I can afford any of these cards. I only have 1 innate sun, so I'm not going to have the threshold here. We will have the threshold on here. Not on here. Not on here. But it is sea monsters. We could also take Vengeance and have him flow like water everything out of E2, which is interesting. Flow like water, move 2 explorers, 2 towns, and also the city because we'll have the threshold, and that's amusing AF. Damage to each invader is kind of... This is the lightning swift strike power, but better. 1 damage to each invader, though, would be more benefited by Badlands, but this is not on Vengeance, so we don't have the Blight effect. Focus the land's Anguish. If this power destroys any buildings, 5 fear. Gather up to 5 Blight, 1 damage per Blight. Gather up to 5 Blight, and then that's 5 Badlands for Vengeance. That's also pretty cool. I think I like the flow like water idea. Let's take that one, and let's forget Promises of Protection. And then we have 2 presences to put down, so actually, since we do have 2 presences, that's... I do have millions of energy as well. I don't think there's a reason to put 4 card plays down this turn. Unless I want to do 5 card plays next turn, but probably not. Let's hoard energy. Land with Wilds or my presence. No, this is the one that's any. And then I can actually double up on it. So, playing these cards. Oh, I don't have any sun here? That's kind of rude. Okay. That's the one downside of Flow Like Water, is I have no sun. So I will not have Push Explorers. I will not have any damage here. I could, however, get up to the plant and then split this power's damage however desired. Actually, no, I won't, because this doesn't even have plant on it. Never mind. I also can't play all 3 of my cards anyway if I do that. Okay. Well then. The only mountains that has things other than E2 is F4, so maybe I just grow into F4. And we'll make that a sacred site, because why not? And I still have 4 energy after all that, which is nuts. Okay. What about you, Vengeance? Again, there's no fire here. But since we can flow like water to get everything out of E2, we're not really super worried about E2. Yeah, these are pretty trash elements. I guess the way to look at it is that these are major power fodder. Yeah. I'll probably take an animal just so I can unlock epidemics. And I guess technically F4 is ravaging, so I'll take the defend just in case I don't actually have a clever solution for that just yet. So like say that I decide to do that, so I get rid of that. We don't need to skip ravage actions in E2 now. Potentially we could put disease and strife and fear in a single land, because we, yep, definitely have the animals for that. One more fire and we have Savage Revenge, which can target F2 or E2, which is... F2 has a blight in there. Oh, I actually only have 2 plays. Right, so these are my plays. I can't even... Okay. Well, that's fine. We can defend F4. And then damage something. This is one damage per disease. So even though that we do have the threshold and flow like water, we could kill the city at E2 just for extra fear. By doing hazard spread there. We do have the energy, so we could definitely afford the disease. Could also put the disease in F4 and use epidemics to kill one explorer. Sure. Kill one explorer. I mean, if that's the only land that builds, that's fine. Killing the explorer means the ravage is fine, then they only build once or something. Is there an alternative thing I could do instead of defend 3 then, since I don't seem to need it? Skip ravage actions is dumb. Pushing things, that's okay. Adding a disease, that's okay too. Actually, if I do this, I do actually have Savage Revenge. Which, yeah, I can still do an F2 for 2 damage, so... Sure. So hazard spread, add the disease. Epidemics kills a single explorer. Flow like water. Push into the land with beasts. Keep all the buildings in one place. Okay. Resourceful populace. For the rest of this turn, after an action destroys 1 or more buildings, add a town to an adjacent land. If there are no adjacent lands, e.g. due to isolate, don't add anything. Okay. Virulence among close-packed homes. On each board, add disease to the inland land with the most buildings. I like that. Offerings of story and season. Each spirit with at least 3 Dahan among all its lands gains 1 energy and may reclaim 1 card. Vengeance has no cards to reclaim. Keeper has, like, no Dahan in their lands. And Vengeance has 2? Oh, it has 4. Okay. Well, Vengeance does get an energy for this, so. These are just order of operations, right? Yeah. I'll allow it. And then Sands Explorer. Okay. Not mountains, not sands then. Keep it coastal. Already has a wilds, not sands. Okay. So. Any other place to do Savage Revenge now that things have changed? I don't think so. Like, Sand's here, but that's not blighted, so let's just kill this town. Ah, and that does add a town to our neighboring land. That's fine. I can remove a blight if I so want. I will want because that's my land. I don't like that. I don't like things in my land. Get off my land. Do I have range here? I do. Get off that land. I don't have the push guy. Never mind. This is literally just if the land has nothing. The land has no explorers. Not even nothing. Just no explorers. But let's just put it there because there's nothing in there. Okay, so disease, strife, fear, push, push. One disease may move with each pushed piece. So let's. Oh, I can just move everything. Okay, let's. This is what? Fear. Push. Move the disease there. And then both. Cool. F2 is super diseased, and also the city is strafed, so checkmate. This is a Reclaim Unkeeper. And I don't think I'm doing growth option 3. I could, because I have millions of energy, but don't really see a reason to. Just play millions of cards. This is a presence with wilds or disease, so... Or wilds or presence, rather. What am I talking about? Wilds or presence? Let's just go into F6 for range, I guess. And then I have millions of energy. Can I just play like my most expensive cards? Would that do something exciting this turn? I have 2 damage plus 1 damage per sun animal, or sun plant, which is 3. I guess that kills everything in E7 if so desired. We can flow like water most things out of E1, but there's actually 3 towns in there and 3 explorers, so there will still be a town and an explorer in there. But what can we do there? There's no adjacent blight because I removed the blight from E7. That's... In retrospect, maybe that wasn't the correct play. If only I could have known that. Definitely want 3 plays, I think. Let's do double presence and then next turn gain a major. I feel like that would be a way to do a lot. So let's... Because we do have epidemics. There's no disease in there right now, but we can add a disease there. And then that's the only disease. Okay, well, that's kind of annoying. Also, I kind of have to push everything from E1 into E7 if I want to vacate that land, but that's... Okay, I think I want to stay in that land, though, so let's put presence there. And... this has to be a land with blight or buildings, so let's go back into F7 then. Okay. So you still have a destroyed presence. Keeper has a destroyed presence. Neither E1 nor E7 have blight, so can't get the Badlands effect there. Damage per disease, not super great in E1 either. Will kill everything in F7, but that's not really the threat here. I have a defend card, but not anything to defend this turn. Skip ravage actions, so useless this turn, so I'm playing these 3 cards. Okay, so it does give me epidemics. I mean, there's 4 damage in F2, which is not a threat either. Which is kind of annoying. We do have Towering Wrath. We could throw that into E1. If we're doing Tiring Wrath in E1, I probably should have put my second presence in E5, which I can still do. And get rid of the Dahan, that would be good. Flow like water does get rid of the Dahan. Okay. So there will still be a town and an explorer in here, and they're building a city, so this deals 4 damage. If I could somehow deal 2 more damage, that would be nice. Don't quite have that. It's not really a big deal. Let's just go with that. There's also F1 and F8 to consider. Okay, so let's put disease there. I can push Dahan out with that. That's useless. Damage per wilds. All the wilds lands don't have anything in them. I don't know. This isn't even a dire turn, and I'm just having analysis paralysis here. This blight isn't really doing much either. Alright, so a land can be isolated. So let's isolate this land. I don't think I want to gather that blight, as it will make targeting for Keeper a bit harder. Let's put wilds in here, I guess. I don't know. But throw the Dahan there. I don't want Dahan in my land. Flow like water. Whoops. Wrong target. Flow like water. You here. Do I even have the threshold on this? Oh, I don't have the threshold on this. Probably should have checked that before I did other things. Well, I would need a water, which would mean regrow. I guess that's fine. Alright, let's go back to play phase. I can do it this way. Yeah, Sacrosanct just isn't doing anything. Let's play this one instead. So now we have the threshold on this to move the city, but first isolate. I can move the blight. Add a disease. Flow like water. Okay. I'm not sure which of these is the better option. This kills everything in that land. This doesn't kill everything, but I do want to work that land down. And then this is also like 2 damage. I guess we can do 2 damage in F7. Yeah, okay. And I could kill the city, but it's strifed, so it's not really doing anything. Plus it's not even ravaging, but... Hardworking settlers. The latest round of settlers are regrettably diligent, focused, and curious. They may act curiously in the background or create unnerving distractions at the cost of piquing their interest. This turn, beasts also count as badlands. Beasts prey upon the injured. On each board, destroy a damaged invader and a land with beasts. Okay. So if we act cautiously, on each board, push up to 2 Dahan, add a town to a land without towns, but immediately ravage in the land with the most invaders that matches a ravage card. Well, all of our ravage actions are dead anyway, right? So if we create unnerving distractions at the cost of piquing their interest, ravage cards skip up to 1 matching land, but there's no ravage. 1 fear per player, remove the bottommost stage 2 and stage 3 cards. So yeah, so it's act cautiously because the ravage is empty anyway. Again, we can't push Dahan into E7 because Sacred Site. Keeper Sacred Site. This rule is actually being more pertinent this game than it usually is. Town to a land without towns. Could just be F2. Let's leave the Dahan in F1 and F8. If we don't do anything to those lands, the surviving Dahan will kill the remaining survivor. If I click this, it's gonna fizzle, right? No? Dahan events never move Dahan to your sacred site. Oh, is it because technically this is like down here is Dahan event? Hold on. Hold on. Where does it talk about event cards? Events. Ah. Most event cards also have 2 potentially helpful events. Token event, Dahan event. Okay. Okay. That was my misinterpretation. Dahan event is when you have a Dahan symbol down here, and then this symbol, that event down here would be the Dahan event. So this up here is not a Dahan event. It's just the event. So you can move Dahan to Keeper lands. Let's push this guy in here. And let's get rid of this singleton because I don't want singletons. Let's get rid of this singleton. Actually, no. I can just push. Oops. Wrong thing. Get rid of this singleton. Get rid of this singleton. Push one of these guys in here. And then get rid of this singleton. Okay. Also gets rid of the Dahan from Keeper land, which is good because we have a punish coming up. Add town to a land without town. So not mountains, not sands. So wetlands here. I guess you can go back in that land that we just killed you from. And then there's no invaders, no invaders. Beasts count as badlands. And there's no damaged invaders. Each player moves an explorer from a land with Dahan. That stops 2 builds. Perfect. Mountains Ravage, Sands build. I will allow it. They explore coastal, so no escalation. All right. So actually that's pretty nice for F1 as that is taken care of. And then we have these builds to look for and this Ravage there to take care of. Surely it's not going to be too hard. We have Towering Wrath to deal 4 damage. 5 damage? Oh, because Beast is Badlands. Right. We can punish in here very easily. Is there another land that's relevant? Oh, wrong one. The answer is no. Just do this. 5 damage. Regrow. I could save that blight so that Vengeance could do more in that land. Land with invaders, add a disease. Let's do it here so that if I do epidemics next turn, I can kill everything in there. Lots of fear generation. We have 2 suns, so it's only pushing 1 explorer. The only meaningful one would be this one. Okay. 5 and reclaim 1 next turn, and we're gaining a power card. Could I take another major? Let's get rid of regrow. And take Blazing Renewal! Voice of Command. 1 damage per Dahan Explorers, 2 buildings only. Defend 2. During Ravage actions, Explorers fight alongside Dahan. Deal take damage at the same time and 2 from the same sources. And at 3 Sun, 2 of Air. First gather up to 2 Explorers, Towns, Dahan. During Ravage actions, Explorers fight alongside Dahan. Does that mean they deal damage at the same time, or that they're actually allies? Wait. I'm a little confused here. Sounds like... Okay, it sounds like they're allies with the Dahan. During Ravage, Explorers won't damage the land or Dahan, but will damage towns and cities. Yeah, that's what I'm reading here. The FAQ says, with Voice of Command, can Explorers take damage from towns, cities? How does distributing damage work when you have a mixed group of Dahan Explorers? Yes, Explorers can take damage. You can destroy Explorers before Dahan and will usually want to do so. You can also mix and match, destroy an Explorer or 2, then deal damage to a Dahan if for some reason you want to leave some Explorers alive. Okay. Yeah, so it means that Explorers are Dahan in this land. Or Ravage actions, basically. Well, not for, like, defend per Dahan effects, but yeah. 2 fire, 3 air, 2 earth. That was a shame. Oh, this is on Keeper. I'm looking at the wrong one. We do not have 3 air. Otherwise... Oh no, we have a Reclaim 1 coming up. Oh, we can definitely have the air. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong effect again. 3 sun, 2 air. Oh, we have that very easily. The thing is, there's not really a land where that's relevant. Unless I take... Ooh. Ooh. What if I take Flow Like Water into E1? Oh, that's amusing. If I'm forgetting regrow from roots, I'm not having a water anymore. That's fine. I don't need freaking water. I mean, if I gather the city, though, that would be fun and exciting. But let's see. Gather city, town, 2 explorers. I'll also have the threshold, so gather 2 explorers, towns to hunt. Oh, but I can't reclaim more than 1 card. What am I talking about? Also, there needs to be Dahan in that land, which I seem to have removed all of the Dahan from, so that's an entirely moot point. I could gather 2 towns from F5 into F1. And then 1 damage per... Like, if I completely just ignore the whole... like, flow like water thing. 1 damage per Dahan. Explore, so it's 3 damage. That kills 1 town, damages the other. Defend 2 is enough. And then the explorer kills the town. The problem with that, though, is there's still 2 explorers in the land, so they will build. So it's like, yay, we did it! We saved Bikini Bottom! And then they build again. So, like, great. Let's see. Pyroclastic Flow, we don't have the elements for, right? I mean, I guess we could definitely have it. And it does add a wilds if we do that. Land is jungler, wetlands, add a blight. Unfortunately, the sands and the mountains are largely empty, so that's kind of sad. Add beasts, gather beasts for each beasts. Fear max 4, innovator skip 1 action. We do not have 3 animals. Also, this has spiders on it, so sorry if you have arachnophobia, but this is the spider card. What about Blazing Renewal? Do we have Earths? No. We do still have a Keeper presence that's destroyed. If any presence was added, 2 damage to each building. That just kills both towns in F5. Like, very easily. It's also 5 energy. That's a lot of energy. Even though, like... I don't even have that much energy this turn. Okay. I mean, I could use Voice of Command purely as a defend card, because what that means is that explorers don't count for the Ravage, sort of. So, like, this is a very good anti-Russia card, by the way. Just saying. You know, explorers dealing 2 damage, you know, and being unable to kill explorers in general with Russia. It's a pretty nice Russia card. I can't stop E1 with that, though, again, so it's kind of useless there. What if I were to put Blight down anyway? We are at a very healthy island. We have 5 Blight on the card, which is very bad for Vengeance. All right, Pyroclastic Flow. Get rid of regrow. Add a presence. Since we have Pyroclastic Flow, I probably want to be in more mountains. Although E2 doesn't really see anything else, so I guess I'm gonna grow into F6. And then F6. So how much energy do I have left? 0. Ow. Well, I hit all of my elemental thresholds, including this one. I cannot copy a disease this turn. About Vengeance. I think we said we're getting a major power this turn. So let's do it. Major. Draw towards a consuming void. Unrelenting growth. Although we're almost done with both of our presence tracks, so it's kind of useless. Wow, look at all of these stupid expensive powers. We have like 5 energy to play with, which means that Unrelenting Growth is the only one I can afford to play if I choose not, like, assuming I want to play my hand and not play Strike Low. Or something. Also Volcanic Eruption adds Blight, but I can't even afford to play that one. The only major I could afford to play if I only play it is Talons of Lightning. Oh man. Alright, Unrelenting Growth. Cool. Let's get rid of Fetid Breath because it's 2 energy and only adds like a disease or something. I don't know. Not that disease is bad, but I have other means of adding disease. And I don't really know. Oh, I have Carapace Land for E1 if all else fails. Let's, I don't know, stare at F2 menacingly and then play my hand. So I have Epidemics for 1 damage per disease, and I have Savage Revenge for 1 damage. Okay. You can also skip Ravage actions. I don't think we need to do that. Clear out this land? Are we gonna win? We're 16 feet away from no cities. Wasn't I thinking of gathering 2 towns into F1? All right, with the major, I was gonna do that, but then I decided against it because reasons. And without invaders, stop a city in E3, and then I mean this is just happening here, like, and this kills all explorers, right? So. I feel like it should say destroy all explorers first and then deals, you know, damage, but whatever. I also killed a Vengeance Presence. Whoops. My bad. Damage for wilds doesn't do anything this turn. Cannot add disease. So defend that. It was already defended, wasn't it? Wait, why is that 6? Oh, because I have threshold for more defense. Okay. That's cool. Skip Ravage actions. Land with disease. Well, that one. Epidemics also. Let's just kill this city now, because why not? And a beast. Add a wilds. Get rid of the Dahan. Actually, no, don't put the Dahan on my land. I changed my mind. Don't ever go on my land. That is a mistake. Alright. Pull together in adversity. For the rest of the turn, ignore 1 strife on each invader. This includes not removing that strife. Explorers blunder. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. Careful defense. When invaders ravage, if the land has Dahan, defend 2. Okay. Well, we got rid of the only piece that had strife on it. And on each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. Okay, well then this doesn't build. That guy's still dead, so take out this one. And then that doesn't build. And I mean, I guess that builds. Whatever. 2 fear cards. Each player moves an explorer town from a land with presence. Alright, get rid of that guy. I guess if we just focus on the towns, we would just win the game, but we're also, oh, we're not too far away from winning. Okay. Get rid of that town. Then there's no escalation on board E. Each player adds strife in a land with or adjacent to beasts. Explorers skip their normal explore and build in lands with beasts. But we also ignore strife or something. I don't know. Build. That was a great build. Wetlands explore. Escalation. I have Savage Revenge, so I want the town in F2. I guess actually that works there. We also have Punish, but we have Unrelenting Growth to add those presences, so like, I don't know. Let's explore. So I don't want anywhere close to this, right? These two are not getting explored right now. If I put it here, they explore. No, they already see it. Never mind. I don't know. Go there. Also gain a power card and an energy. And let's take a minor since you just gained a major. Lots of exciting things here. I will take Call to Bloodshed because it gives fire animal. Okay. Punish those who trespass. We could also split the damage between target land and one of my lands, which is fantastic. Maybe it is 5 damage. I'm sure there's a way to work this out that we win. I'm not sure what that is, but get rid of that town. Punish, split here, damage. Okay, you don't die. Also, there's a town there. I don't really care about that town. Spread the wilds. There. Can we just win already, please? There, I said it. Can we win? Really just want to win. I mean, I guess we could do blight cleanup before we win, but there's not even that much blight on the board, so just like grow and do things, I guess. This hits. Well, I don't have enough water for that anymore. Just reclaim. Gain something. I don't know what I clicked on. No, not that. Something to destroy that removes blight fast, maybe? No. Let's take the fear one. In case we want it. Let's just play our expensive cards. I guess. I don't know. Let's play that one. I actually have Savage Revenge at tier 2. Sweet. Is this technically tier 3? Because tier 1 is power has +1 range. I don't know. Sacrosanct Wilderness to kill that town. Pyroclastic Flow wins the game. Alright, so what can we do? With second wave, we keep disease, we keep wilds. Well, we keep only 2 of each. 1 on each board or something, or 2 total. We keep beasts. We already have a lot of them everywhere. I don't think we have any blight removal. We could move... Oh, we can't even move the blight. I'm not sure where the best places are for wilds and stuff. I feel like wilds on the inland is more important since they're gonna stay closer to the coast. There'll be towns closer to the coast. Maybe the city still works in E2. Keep the diseases with the city. You can get rid of the blight enough too, I guess, because that's a city place, but I don't know. Okay. Well, that was like an hour and a half for wave 0, or wave 1, I guess. I think I'll only do one more because I don't really want to stream for 17 hours. Man, even when I try to play fast, it takes forever. Alright, so 30 points, 10 for victory, 5 for difficulty 1, 10 for the 5 remaining invader cards, 6 for the 12 surviving Dahan, -1 for the 3 blight. Alright, second wave. So the way the second wave works, if the blight card is on the healthy side, increase the adversary level by 1, which we will. Do not place pre-printed tokens, blight, or Dahan. Pre-printed invaders start closer to the coast, any which will go into land 6+, instead go to land numbered 3 lower. So a town printed on land 7 will instead be put in land 4. So those are the inland explorers, or inland buildings. We also add a town to land 5. And adversary setup changes apply normally, but any extra blight is added from the blight pool. And fear events, the invader deck and spirits are all set up normally. And yeah, this is set up for the second game. After the first game, each spirit sets aside 1 power card to assist with the next game. Remove all presence and invaders. We leave on the island 1 of each token type per player. So in a 2-player game, 2 beasts, 2 wilds, 2 disease, 2 badlands. 2 blight per player. Return the rest to the blight card. All Dahan is also left behind. In lands with 3 Dahan or more, push 1 Dahan to adjacent lands until there are 2 or fewer. Then on each board with 2 to 4 Dahan, add a Dahan to the lowest numbered land with Dahan. Then on each board with 9 Dahan or more, remove Dahan until there are 8 or fewer. So you're capped at 8, and if you finish with 0 or 1 Dahan, you're screwed, and you're not getting any more. Because they have to have, you have to have 2 to tango, is all I'll say. And also, once stage 3 begins, the power cards set aside from the first game may be played during a spirit phase as usual. They cost nobody any energy or card plays, they grant no elements, and they may target any land. Thresholds trigger if they require 10 or fewer elements. Each one is discarded after 1 use or at the end of the game if playing further waves. And furthermore, if they care about presences in a land, you consider every land to have a sacred site from that spirit. For instance, like manifestations, or I think it's the manifestations from Thunderspeaker. All right, so we're probably only going to do second wave unless for whatever reason it goes really fast. So we will play, and I'm just going to stick with whatever 2 spirits it gives me. Set aside a power card, and all thresholds trigger if they have 10 or fewer things. So Inflame would be an interesting one, even though it's a minor power, as it adds a disease and a strife, but it's only during the slow phase. Unrelenting Growth adds a lot of presence, but it's perhaps a little too late. But we also add an additional wilds, we remove a blight, and the spirit gains a power card, which that could be a big tempo boost if needed. Assuming we even get to stage 3, which, I mean, yeah, sure. Also, Brandenburg Prussia will be at 1. So we have fast start during setup on each board, add a town to land number 3. And everything else remains the same, even the fear cards. So, okay. And then here, Pyroclastic Flow is probably the good one, as it's the only one that has elements. I guess Flow like water also. I kind of didn't use the fact that that we have +2 range on powers with Vengeance. We didn't use that fact, but this does do a lot of damage. Adds a wilds, destroys all explorers. Can't fathom to see why that would be a bad one. All right, we need to remove 5 beasts. I would say we want to leave the beasts coastal, as beasts with invaders are generally good. I'll leave the one with the city, I would say. I'm probably gonna leave the diseases in land 2. Land 3 will have a town in it. So I say those 2. All right, remove 6 wilds. And for this, I would probably say inlands more. So 6 plus goes 3 lower. So 6 is empty because the highest number is 8. The pre-printed ones, wow, go into 5 instead. So 6 is empty, so a wild's there would actually stop an explorer. But like if I put it in 5, it doesn't stop the explorer. I forget where it started. I think it started in 8. The first one was jungles. Did it start in 7 or 8? I think it started 8. I think we pushed the town from 8 into 7 at some point. So I think there will be a town in 5. So wilds there won't really do much. And then coastal ones, I mean, there will be a town in 3. So yeah, let's get rid of the ones we know where towns will be. And there's also the city there. 7 or 8. 7, well, it's not going to have the disease. But it does have a blight right now. So we could leave the wilds there and that would be fine. And then 1 left. Yeah, let's leave the 1 in 6. Remove 8 diseases. Okay, well, leave it with the city, I'd say. I guess you could also leave it with the town and so they don't build a city there, but let's just leave it where it is because, like, I feel like disease with the city makes sense. Lands with 3 Dahan or more, push 1 to adjacent lands. All right, so there was 12 surviving Dahan. We have 7 on E and 5 on F. And I would like to probably keep them paired up. So if I push them like this, then these guys are all paired up. And if I push like this, let's push this into 5, I'd say. They're kind of inland, but we'll see. All right, so we have river on board E, and it's base river. I don't know if, I would assume that aspects are randomized for play as well when this happens. And then Sharp Fangs in board F. Okay. Add a presence to jungle or beasts, or is it just beasts? It's beasts, right? But 1 presence in a land of your choice with beasts anywhere on the island. Let's put it in E3. They explore jungles. So that's already a pretty hot turn. Also, river starts in E8, the absolute corner of the island, but sure. Ranging hunt with damage would be pretty good this turn. Not gonna lie. The blight in F2 kind of sucks. If I convert the beasts in E3, or the presence to beasts in E3, ranging hunt would do enough to kill the town there, and then we could do ranging hunt with damage next turn to stop that ravage. Or we could try to do terrifying chase, but the problem with trying to do damage with ranging hunt this turn is I have to play both of my plant animal cards, which means I don't have terrifying chase. Plus, it's kind of very difficult to also play ranging hunt for damage next turn. If I go up the presence track, I can get the plant next turn, so I just have to find 1 plant animal card by next turn, but we could just prey on the builders, I guess. Prey on the builders. I guess F5 would be a little better for that to stop the inland city, but I'm not going to be able to stop that ravage. I mean, there is a neighboring beast there, so I can do a lot more damage in F5 than I can do in E3 right now. And if I just stop them from building in E3 this turn, then we could put river into E4 and then wash away everything in E3 to stop that ravage. Maybe that's what I do. Either way, I think we're always doing these the middle 2 growth options here. So we're going to gain miners for a bit. And especially plant animal ones would be great, but we don't have plant animal ones. Okay. Well, river is... Oh, hey, whoops. River is probably just gonna do river things. Let's do the standard river opening after having played the aspect that was supposed to change the standard river opening. Now, technically, we don't really have to walk to massive flooding. Or, so we don't have to wash away because we just do massive flooding instead. Sure, Boon of Vigor, even though Fangs probably doesn't need energy. I mean, if I do Spur On, River could play, say, Flash Floods and kill the town in E3 that way. And then we would also have the level up innate to deal 2 damage and push 3 things away, but... Alright, well, I think it's gonna have to be an animal card in case we get a plant animal next turn. I mean, we could go up to 3 card plays instead of going for the plant. But I still would not have 2 plants next turn if I'm playing both of these cards. So... I mean, I could take a plant now and then maybe find a plant animal next turn, but then I won't have 3 animals. Yeah, so I'm kind of like hard pressed here. Let's take Devouring Ants as it targets jungle sands, which is where the buildings are largely. Well, I guess jungles. I would love to try to play that this turn, but I don't think I can. Let's convert this guy to beasts. They prey. Oh, but if I'm playing prey, I don't have the damage. Well, I guess I'm not gonna have the damage ever. This needs a sacred site. I'm absolutely playing prey, which means actually I do have Ranging Hunt with Threshold next turn if I play 3 cards. All right, let's okay. Let's, because I want to try to play differently. Let's not play Boon of Vigor. Let's do it next turn because Fangs will have 3 cards, which is more energy. We're playing Prey. I would need these 2 plus... Okay, so let's play Devouring Ants. Let's not convert that, so I do have a Sacred Site for it, so I can actually do damage with that. Does that make sense? I would rather Terrifying Chase. Because then Ranging Hunt would kill the city there. Okay, let's do... Okay, never mind. I changed my mind. Then I probably want more beasts, after all. Okay. So do not build. We do have this. After Ranging Hunt, or after Terrifying Chase, there will only be the city in F5. And then Ranging Hunt does enough damage to kill everything in F5. I did the... Oh, I didn't... Okay, I needed to... Okay. I was supposed to undo the presents, not undo the beasts. That's why I got confused. Okay, so get that back. And then take off place track. Okay. So prey, terrifying chase. Convert to beasts. So next turn we get to 3-card plays. Stop that build. But yeah, we don't need this beasts here next turn. But we also don't need much more in F5 because we can just gather from F2. Still don't have a solution for F2, by the way, but it is what it is. We can use Ranging Hunt to situate Fangs' presence differently. So let's put my presence in E2 so I can see the city, I guess. In case I need to Ranging Hunt there next turn or something. Jungle build. Sands Explorer. Okay. So get everything out from there. Kind of a risk putting in F2, but centralized risk is better than spread out risk. Reverse bounty, massive flooding, wash away into E2. Again, centralized risk. And then massive flooding stops an explore or stops a build. Let's stop E6. Put a coastal. And then reverse bounty. Let's just add a Dahan here. I don't need to gather for that. Okay. So gain another power here. Plant animal? Plant animal. Spirit with presence on target board may add one of the destroyed presents, gather to Dahan, push up light. That stops the cascade in F2, which is really good. Don't have any destroyed presents. We don't need that. Delusions of Danger does stop a build, but kind of limited in what we can do. As I have to play 3 animal cards, 2 of which have plant on them. Alright, so let's put presence here. Convert this guy to beasts to set up for E2 damage down the road. Now, Devouring Ants. We don't have a Sacred Site this turn. Okay, and it is targeting sand, so actually let me change my mind on that. I want that presence. I don't... I could do Devouring Ants in E1 to kill the town. I could do it in F1 or F8 to kill the town. Those 2 lands have Dahan in them. So those are a little more pertinent. So I want to put my presence in F5 instead. Okay. So Devouring Ants and then any 2 of these cards. So push the Blight out of F2. And I have no more energy, so I have to play the 0 energy card. Okay. And then River. Sacred Site in E7 allows you to see see F8. Sorry, F7 to see F8. And we can get you to reclaim 1. There we go. Standard River opening complete. take the card you can afford to play too. And I think what I usually do at this point is start going up the energy track so I can afford cards and I don't have to be stuck in a reclaim loop. But what if I go for 5 card plays? I feel like that's a bit too gross. Alright. I don't want to gather the Dahan. We're literally doing this just to push the blade out. And in fact, before I do that, I should ranging hunt in F5. So that I can actually do damage, and then I can push the blade into F5. We can deal with F8 with River, so let's focus on F1. And then we can do this. And don't gather, and then push the blight into F5. Cool. Flash Floods could stop the build in E1. Doing it there, of course. Kill the town in F3. Which is not doing anything anyway. I think we kill the town in E1 because we can deal with F1 and F8 after that. Okay. Stupid 2 energy, 1 damage card. On each board, add city to a coastal land with city. Thriving trade. Okay. Pestilence arrives on canvas sails. On each board, add disease to the coastal land with the most buildings. In that land, 3 damage to Dahan. Clever cooperation. Each spirit may push one of their presence from a land with Dahan. 2 damage in the land pushed to. Interesting. So more cities. For fun, I guess. And then that forces disease into those lands. And now both of us are in lands with Dahan, so both of us can push. However, I don't want to push Fangs, as I need that Sacred Site, and that damage isn't going to stop the Blight. I can push River. I can push F4 into F3 and that creates a Sacred Site. Oh, cool. Okay. And it kills the town. But yeah, these 2 presences would have to be F1, and I don't have a reason to push because it will kill my Sacred Site. Let me explore mountains. Alright, so E2 is thriving. Fun. Alright, so devouring ants to solve F1. What did that do? Oh, it destroyed a Dahan. Oh, well that's annoying. Maybe I should have read the card. Oh well. That Explorer should die in a Ravage. I'm not inclined to push it. Events could make it deal more damage, but there's 2 Dahan in there. It should be fine. And then River's Bounty. I'll leave those guys in there. Let's take these guys, I guess. It does create a singleton here, but it's not neighboring a city. Alright, River Reclaim. Sunwater? Ooh, we got a Sunwater. Strong and constant currents. Also, Pull Beneath is a water card. But Strong Constant Currents gives all the elements for River. I'm taking that one. I'm not even gonna look at the other one. Although I think the other one is actually progression track for River. I should do a game with the 4 beginner spirits on the progression decks because I feel like that could be fun. It's been ages since I've played the progression decks. Alright, we definitely want to get to the Reclaim 1. So the Reclaim 1, I can reclaim a plant animal. So all I need is an animal off of this power card to be able to do Ranging Hunt. And we need to focus on E2 now. Also, we could focus on E5 because that's a city, I guess. E2's kind of tough to deal with anyway, and there's nothing in there anyway. There's also the Horizons progressions. Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever played with those. All right, next Dolphins dive. We'll start playing progression decks for fun. 4 energy is a lot of energy, but I also only have +1 per turn, and next turn I have a -1. So we're gonna keep gaining minors. Add beasts? Yes. Yes. Okay, so annoyingly, like, I have to add my presence to jungle or beasts, so I can't add it to E5, which is annoying. And this has to be plant animal. No destroy presence still. You don't need to push Blade right now. Too near the jungle is kind of a boring card, though. Do we even do anything with Too Near the Jungle last turn? Or 2 turns ago or whatever? Actually, no, we couldn't because, oh, I was like, I don't remember killing an explorer or doing anything with these. And that's because I was not in a jungle last turn. Whoops. Expert player. Alright, well, I need to be in a jungle for Teeth Gleam, so I should probably make sure I am in a jungle after this turn is over. Convert this to beasts. I don't see why I would want to gather Dahan this turn, though. Otherwise, I would play the other one. I don't know. This needs to be this card. So I have double incentive to finish my turn in the jungle. So we can push an explorer town to an adjacent coastal land or move up to 2 Dahan between target land and 1 other coastal land. Which allows me to move Dahan anywhere along the coast, which is pretty powerful because it doesn't say, like, restricted to the board or neighboring lands. But always playing that, I'm sure. Probably always playing that. If I'm doing that, I probably should take a major next turn, to be honest. I think I'll click Wash Away because I don't know, I might gain a power next turn, and at that point I probably want to be able to ensure that when I reclaim one that I might have to reclaim a Sun Water card. Otherwise, if I don't play Wash Away this turn, then it's not... yeah, I know. I'm going to put things in the jungle later. Winnebago, Swarming Wasps, Ranging Hunts. And now I actually need to put a beast here and go there. Which kind of sucks for E2, but whatever. Civic Engagement. On each board, remove a strife. If you can't, invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging a lands with buildings. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. Casualties of Fang and Sting. On each board, destroy an explorer town and a land with beasts. Good. Keep far from the lands of plague. On each board, push 3 Dahan from lands with disease to lands without disease. Okay. We didn't leave the beasts here, which is unfortunate. So this... Destroy. This destroys, so it is a fear. And then that one was annoying. Push 3 Dahan from lands with disease. There is none. Fear card says, each player may push an explorer into a land with more buildings than the land it came from. Seek safety is what that's called. I should remember to read the names of the cards. But this does stop 2 builds. I'm happy with that. Very good fear card. Sands with escalation. All right. They do not currently see F8, so I don't want them to see F8. Which means I don't want to put things here. I also don't want to put it in F1 because of the build, so it has to be F3 there. They do see F6. So E3. Alright. We have 2 near the jungle, we have Teeth Gleam. We could generate 3 fear if we don't want to put a beasts down there, but Ranging Hunt would deal 4 damage there next turn. We don't have range there for Wash Away. This land is gonna blight, but it's not terrible if it does. We have Massive Flooding and Wash Away to solve pretty much E1 and E6. Unfortunately, I can't solve F1 because they're not too near my jungle. Well, in any case, like the only neighboring explorer is an E2, so that has to go there. The extra beasts is only really going to kill 1 more explorer, but whatever. A beast is certainly worth more than 2 fear, right? Whoever's bounty, let's just steal one of these Dahan so we have got rid of that singleton. Although I'm not really doing a very good job of like putting these Dahan in pertinent places, but hey. Massive Flooding deals 2 damage. It kind of feels like a waste to do it just to kill an explorer. I think what I'm going to do... We can stop inland visibility if I do something like this. Well, they're building here though, so they're still going to see E7, but they can avoid seeing E8 if I get rid of this guy. So we'll do Wash Away to get rid of that explorer, and I'm going to do Massive Flooding to kill this town. And then those explorers can join the party in F2. Okay. So this is a reclaim on Fangs. And I said I was going to click Major Power, and I think I will. Okay. Plague stacks? None of these have plant, but 3 of these have animal. I cannot hit this threshold. At least not this turn, but I could maybe next turn. Range 2 from a Sands. Skip all actions. 1 fear per 2 explorers. This power remove up to 2 explorers, but also remove up to 6 explorers from among your lands. Very much an anti-Russia card, by the way, just so you know. Because it says remove, doesn't say destroy. But I don't know, that doesn't really do much, really. Instruments of their own ruin is always fun. Strife, but also invaders with Strife deal damage to other invaders. So I could like Strife a city, and then that city damages and kills like that city, which is cool. And it does solve E2 for this turn. And I don't really need the threshold on this because it actually basically changes the power entirely. Instead, if invaders ravage and target land, they damage invaders in adjacent lands instead of Dahan in the land, but the Dahan in target land do not fight back. Versus Strife an invader, and then that invader kills other invaders and shit. So, strifing E2 seems pretty good. We could make target land and land adjacent to it become a single land. I don't don't really know what the purpose of this is. I mean, what I mean by that is I feel like this is a highly situational card in that it's not necessarily great in all situations. I can imagine, like, if you're playing with Ocean, you can make Ocean and a coastal land a single land for this turn. Does that immediately drown everything in that land, or does it only happen after the effect expires? When you have the threshold, you isolate the joined land if it has invaders 2 feared and remove up to 2 invaders. Also, that's certainly useful, but just making 2 lands a single land with the terrain and land number of both lands, it seems pretty dangerous in many cases, because like say I combine a jungle and a sands, then they're both jungle and sands. So like they explore jungle, they build sands, they ravage sands. Like that would happen in there like multiple times. I don't know. I guess it just makes it so that when you have to like target a land, like when I'm like, oh, I have 4 damage, but only 2 damage I can deal here, I can actually do that damage to multiple things. Maybe that's the purpose for that. I don't know. I have never actually played the card. I keep seeing it and keep thinking, yeah. We're gonna take instruments, and I would probably want to forget Devouring Ants. It's also a free movement afterward, yeah, because you can move all of the last 19 digits of pi. Hello, there are no last digits of pi. Thank you very much. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, you can move the pieces among all of the lands as needed. Agreed. That is valid. So you can turn up the land with 3 cities and move the 3 cities exactly away. Like, you can move cities with that, I guess. Okay. Moving cities is a very rare thing. That is cool. Vengeance's graphic overlaps nicely on Unrelenting Growth. Oh, man. I'm screenshotting this. And I'm posting it to the Discords. Okay. Anyway. Back to the regularly scheduled game. What am I forgetting here? I was thinking Devouring Ants, but I probably want the Suns. Actually, no, I don't want the Suns because I don't want that threshold. Okay, bye, Devouring Ants. And then let's add a presence, so I keep adding presences. I need to have a sacred site for this, so I need to actually keep the sacred site. Let's just frickin' go up to 5, reclaim 1. Let's just frickin' play this game this way. What could possibly go wrong? We have River to sustain our energy, so we don't need energy this game. And let's make sure we don't hit this threshold, by the way. We need to play 2 plant cards. We don't have Destroy Presence still, right? Nope, we're too good at this game. Do we need to push Dahan, or gather Dahan, or push Blight? I guess if we want to ever deal with F2, we probably need to get rid of that Blight somehow, but not this turn, not today. And then an animal card gives me Frenzied Assault. Do we need to stop a build? I guess we could stop F1 if we really wanted. Or we could just keep putting beasts down. When in doubt, put more beasts down. 5 card plays, River? Or no, we wanted to gain a power card. Okay, gain power card. There's no water on this. Literally unplayable. I will take Fire in the Sky. because it says Strife. Unfortunately, I do not have Sacred Site range to E2. But hey, we have Vengeance. We don't have Vengeance. We have Instruments of Their Own Ruin. What? I'm right-clicking on Instruments, and it's popping up River's card. Like, what? What? wait. Oh my god, this is, This is, okay. 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 Well, I don't know what's going on, and I'm not going to ask questions. We're just going to send the bug and continue with our regularly scheduled game. It's probably because I still have things to do here, maybe? Alright, I have sacred sites on all of my wetlands. I would really like to have sacred sites next to E2 and F2. I already have one, so I now need to work towards that. So I'm going to grow into E1. And then I'm going to play these cards. And then I'm going to reclaim... I guess... both of us are playing millions of cards. Jeez. And both of us have reclaim 1. I guess you can just gain 3 energy if you need it. So I'm going to give myself energy. This one. Does this work now? Now it's popping up Fangses. Does this freak out when I do this? Yes, it does. Okay. Well, I guess I can't look at this card. I guess I just cannot look at it. I guess I would have to just read it like this, I guess. Okay. I don't know why. Why is that happening? Was it happening all game long? There's also the Horizons progressions. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so it would be nice to... I could move Dahan in E2. So I don't have Sacred Site range there. I know that much. We're instrumenting of Their Own Ruin. I don't think there's a reason to hold off on this. We're definitely doing this. Definitely doing that. We could Ranging Hunt there. We could also Flash Floods the 2 Explorers and move Dahan in there. Swarming Wasps. Oh, we could just push the 2 Explorers instead of adding the beasts. And then we could do Flash Floods and E1 to stop that build. I didn't do Prey on F1. That's fine. I could do Ranging Hunt there, and that's fine. Okay, so let's push, and we can push 1 there, 1 there, and then Flash Floods. And then this is range 0 coastal, so this is a land I'm in that has Dahan. Move it there. Okay. And then Strife a city in here. And then stop this build. I don't think I need to gather you. I'm just gonna push both of these beasts into F2. Next turn we could push the Blight out of there. Okay. The Frontier calls. Explore actions add plus Explorer to lands without buildings. Lair and Untamed lands. On each board, add beasts to a land without buildings or Blight. Seek out new grounds. On each board, gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land without Dahan setup symbols. We've seen this card today. Okay, so beasts. I don't know. Has to be a land without buildings. And none of these have explorers in them. I just pretty much want them to neighbor these problematic lands. Select these. Gather. Can't gather more into there. I don't need more in there. Gather more in here. And then I can't even get them any closer to E2. I'll click. Oh, there's more. Oh, wait, I didn't even see these two. I'm just like so blind. Okay. Each player adds strife to a town. Unrest. Okay. This is going to be a fun vengeance. Or fun instruments, not vengeance. Exploring jungles. So Prussia adds a town to a land without towns, and then the explorer adds 2 explorers to a land without buildings. And you currently see all of the jungles. So just not sands, I think is... I think I could put town here, I guess, and they don't do 2 explorers, but... 2 explorers is better than explorer town, right? That super zoom was fun. Alright. Frenzied Assault. 2 damage. All the sands are empty. Just get... Oh, yeah, that kills 2. Okay. I was like, let's push those, but actually, yeah. I want Dahan back in that land, because that's the land that I'm in. I could just frenzied here to kill the guys. That's fine. Stops that build. This kills just 1 explorer. That's boring. Add the beasts, and then we can kill the town in the fast phase. Reclaim all? Gain sun water? No? No sun waters? Okay, I guess we're gonna have to trigger my hyper innate with my own powers. Let's take... We don't have any moon. Let's take Treacherous Waterways because it's free. That way I don't have to worry about energy so much. Let's... Ooh, I don't even have to play Wash Away. I can get there with Strong and Constant Currents. Actually, I probably do want to do it with Wash Away so that I have another Sun Water for next turn. So this is Pure Innate River. I seem to be winning. Yeah, I'm not really worried about this game. Last game was a little more puzzling. But I think it's just because I'm less experienced with Vengeance. I'm very experienced with River, and Fangs is one of my favorite spirits, so I can pretty much play this game with my eyes closed. I'll be entirely honest. I would like to play this card this turn, so I'm going to preemptively reclaim that. And I'm probably just going to gain energy and add presence and just kind of stick with the same cards. My hand currently costs 7 energy, which is a lot. But it still has a blade, right? Oh, it doesn't have a blade. Does it have a blade? I should... Oh, it doesn't matter for presence if it has a blade, because, right, this is not Keeper. We're definitely instrumenting their own ruin. We can push the blight out so I can actually ranging hunt in there. I'll probably convert the beasts. Actually, I'm probably gonna Raging Hunt in E3 just to stop that build. F2s could just pray to stop that build. And then I need a free plant card. My second reclaim, please. Free plant card, thank you. And Boon of Vigor will give me 4 energy, and that will help. Energy. I can just flash floods actually here. Well, actually, it doesn't kill everything in there. Pray there though. Get rid of the blight. Sure, I'll gather. I don't think that matters. Blight goes into Blightland. Instruments. I think that city doesn't have a blight on it. Oh my god. Clicking anything pops up a spirit panel. We're dealing 10 damage. Okay, that didn't pop up this panel that time. Let's... I kind of want to leave the strifed pieces here, so let's do it that way. I could have gotten more fear or something if I killed the cities, but I'm not in a rush. They're not building. I can do instruments next turn, or even just let them ravage because they're both strifed and then they die. All right, and then we have like flash floods. I guess flash floods. Let's do flash floods here, because whatever. Ranging hunt here, because whatever. I do need to be in a jungle. I'm in F2 right now, but there's not really anything near F2. Let's move the 2 beasts among the lands with towns, and then just leave my presence here. Sprawl contained by the wilds. On each board, add a wilds to a land without invaders. Build on the land with the most buildings, minimum 1. Interesting. Dissolution threatens. This is not happening, but spirits are losing awareness and control of pieces of themselves. Each spirit chooses. Accept this fragmentation. Destroy 2 presence, adding a wilds in place of each. Focus your will towards wholeness. Add 1 of your destroyed presence to 1 of your lands. Next turn, all of your powers are slow and cannot be made fast. Oh, that is interesting. I haven't seen this event card before, so. Explorer's Blunder. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. Lay ambushes during Ravage. Dahan deal damage at the same time as invaders. Cool. And build in the land with the most buildings. They're building F2, except... do not build. So they're not building F2. They're gonna build E4 or E5, I guess. Let's put a wilds in a blight land. Let's put the wilds in a blight land. The first build with river, I guess. I don't know. No explorers pretty much exist. And then ravage something or another. Panicked by wild beasts. Each player adds strife in a land with or adjacent to beasts. Explorers skip their normal explorer build in lands with beasts. I feel like these invaders are really sucky this game. Exploring mountains. Okay. So not mountains. That one. That one. And that was it, because these 2 had beasts. Alright. Well, you're too near the jungle. You're going in here. I'm gonna steal that singleton. I don't really need to, but I will. And then wash away, leaving a damaged city. And then frenzy the assault to finish off the city. Okay. We have 2 strifed cities and 2 towns on the board. Are we winning? It's impossible to tell. I have 1 power card in my hand, but I have reclaimed 2. One of which is going to be the stripe one, probably. Maybe, I don't know. Are we winning? It's impossible to tell. Feels like the wrong direction. If you don't know me, I say it's impossible to tell for obvious things, just to be funny. Guardian Serpents? Sure. This is like a game where you have to try really hard to lose. Like I have Ranging Hunt. I can just strife every piece on the boards. Like, okay, well, whatever. Go there. And then you will die. I don't have 2 plants. Oh. Ah. I see. Actually, I don't think I should play instruments this turn because F2 just dies, right? So let's I clicked the wrong thing. Let's undo, reclaim. Wait, how's that? What? Oh, wait. Wait, what am I doing? What's going on? What's going on? What did it, like, reclaim? No, I don't think I reclaimed anything. I think I'm just... Okay, so reclaim... that one... Wait, now I can't reclaim. Jeez. No. Put back instruments into the jungle, but now I can't reclaim. Oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. I can. Okay. There's no mountains build, right? Because everything will be dead. So. Swarming wasps. Wait, does this give me 2 plants? No. So not swarming wasps. Teeth gleam. All right. This. And I can put a sacred site here so I can finally clear out E2. Yes! I'm so glad I did that. I do not have hyper innate this turn. I don't think it matters. Flash Floods, I think, wins the game. I can play more power cards. How? 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 Something's bugged, and I'm thinking it has something to do with the previous bug, so I'm not going to report it. I mean, I could be wrong. Alright, let's split you across the jungles. And then put more beasts here, and it's also defended in case they ignore strife, and then that just did nothing at all, whatever. I have no Dahan in my lands. Actually, okay. Gather these, and then strong currents to move over there, just in case like Dahan don't deal as much damage. And there's like Okay, Super Strife a city, I guess. And then also Treacherous Waterways, sure. Addle Wilds, okay. Cities rise. On each board, in the land with the most towns, replace 2 towns with 2 cities. If there's only 1 town instead, replace it with 1 city. Beasts chased off homesteaders. On each board, push up the 2 explorers, 1 town from the land of beasts. Careful defense. When invaders ravage the land, has the Han defend 2. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Defend 2. Immigration accelerates. Each player removes an explorer town from a coastal land. There is none. Cool. We won. Yay! Is there a third wave of the game or just 2? I think I'm only going to stick with 2. My original intention was to do more waves, but I've already been streaming for 2.5 hours, and I don't know. My focus is gone. I mean, I was playing kind of loose in the past half hour, but we were also winning so hard it didn't really matter. We had 10 for victory, 15 for difficulty 3, 12 for the 6 remaining invader cards, 8 for the 16 surviving Dahan, -2 for the 4 light on the island. They depart the island. Who? All the invader settlements have been destroyed and their morale is not strong enough to weather this loss. They depart the island for their faraway home. But who? There's literally no one left, not even explorers. I think, speaking of that, it is possible to have a spare island where there are no invaders on the island and yet the game is not won. And that requires the use of Dahan Insurrection, right? Normal fear-based victory is not available instead, and then blah blah blah. So at tier level 1, like, you could remove every invader on tier level 1 and not win the game. War at the Shores does too? Yeah, I think so. Normal fear-based victory is not available. Instead, tier level 2+, there's a warding pattern in every coastal land. So yeah, you could even like be at tier level 3 and not win the game. Even though you've destroyed every invader piece, not win the game. Which is interesting. The Great River. I have not played this one yet. This doesn't have an alternate win condition, right? It just has an additional loss condition, yeah. I have not played this yet. It's coming up in the upcoming release of the Jagged Earth thing. What is it called? Let me look this up. Handelabra blog, help me. Wait, where was it announced? Oh, it's here? Is it here? Yeah. Home of the Island's Heart is the next release, which comes with Lure of the Deep Wilderness and the Great River, and I haven't played this scenario yet. What it basically does is that towns are more mobile, they migrate inland, and actually specifically the island borders are only placeable top to bottom so the oceans are on the same side, representing the river in the west. At the end of the slow phase, towns move eastward, and when they're basically as far east as they can and they have nowhere to go, then they are moved off the island altogether. And if too many of those towns escape, the invaders win. And they also have additional builds in all coastal lands without buildings, but with explorers and additional explorers into all coastal lands without buildings. So basically, they're going to constantly do coastal stuff. They're not always ravaging the coastal, but they're always building coastal if there's no buildings. But explorers, they're always exploring coastal if there's no buildings. But yeah. I have not played this scenario yet. I know John demoed it one day. I have played Lure of the Deep Wilderness. which is a guy that converts things into explorers and then destroys explorers. Also can only be placed inland, so kind of anti-ocean in a sense. Also has an interesting growth thing where you're always picking one of these two and one of these two. So on the turns that you reclaim, you're not placing presence, which is generally true. But also, if you don't gain a power card, you can actually gain elements, which is interesting. You also have a reclaim 1 on your energy track, which is interesting. But yeah, that is coming in the upcoming release for Jagged Earth. I don't think there's a release date for that yet. But as you can see, both of these are implemented in the beta build. So, you know, down to just whatever bugs remain will determine when that gets released. And then the thing that comes next is Explosive Eruption, which is the Volcano Looming High Spirit and the Elemental Invocation scenario. So yeah, that to look forward to. As well as the remaining Jagged Earth stuff, which there's still a lot to get through. Weird. Anyway, that is it for me today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Be sure to check out the other streams we have on this channel. Handelabra Live might be on later this week, but is usually Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Dolphin's Dive is pretty much a random day of the week. Excuse me, sorry. It's pretty much a random day of the week, depending on my schedule at work. Not sure yet what day I'm streaming next week. I can actually look up my schedule. I didn't think about this in advance. But let's see. I know our restaurant is closed on Monday for Labor Day. Tuesday is an option if Handelabra Live is not on. Otherwise, probably Friday is what it looks like to me. So yeah, Friday next week probably is my next Dolphins Dive. And then every Sunday is Spirit Island Sundays with Seamus when he is feeling well. Health has been a bit of an issue lately. But yeah, that's it for me. Have a good one, everyone.